Alright, welcome back, and, well, like I said, gonna talk about how I feel Ring of Honor is doing at this moment. And you know, when Gabe Sapolsky got fired this past October, a lot of fans, I mean, not only in the Ring of Honor message boards, but a lot of fans all over the world probably thought this is going to be the beginning of the end of Ring of Honor. You know, when you get rid of the backstage, heart and soul, the brain of Ring of Honor, you know, it's going to die. But Ring of Honor has managed to survive, and they've managed to put on pretty good shows as of late. And really, this string of successful shows can really be traced back to the 7th year anniversary show that weekend there, and the one in Elizabeth, Pennsylvania. And ever since then, you know, they've had successful shows. And, you know, like I said a couple weeks ago, when I went to Manassas, that was just a fantastic show. I really do suggest that everybody picks up that DVD when it does come out. It was just a fantastic show. And I really like the fact, one thing that I really like is that, unlike WWE, which I said in the last segment, Ring of Honor's putting new talent out there. And really, so far, it has been successful. Joey Ryan, Young Bucks, Eddie Kingston, just to name a few. And really, the Young Bucks, for me, have stood out the most, as far as I'm concerned. Because the Ring of Honor Tag Team division, you know, when the Briscoes went down, and then you split the Age of the Fall up, you really didn't have that many tag teams. But with the Young Bucks, what they bring to the table is they bring high flying, they're young, you know, they're fresh, they're new. Yes, they've been in the business for a couple years, but they just bring this excitement every time you watch a Young Bucks match. If you haven't seen them, please look them up. You will love what they do in the ring. So the tag team division now, you got the Young Bucks, you got Kevin Steen, El Generico, the Briscoes are back, you got the Dark City Fight Club, you know, and they're an impressive team, you know, especially for them being big men, because big men tag teams, they really don't do that good. And then you got the American Wolves, the tag champs, who really, the American Wolves remind me of if the British Bulldogs had gone heel. If the Bulldogs had gone heel in the United States, that's what the American Wolves remind me of. And Davey Richards reminds me a lot of Dynamite Kid, Eddie Edwards, a little bit of Davey Boy Smith, but I'm not saying, you know, I'm comparing the style of the American Wolves to the British Bulldogs. The Bulldogs are a far more superior tag team than the American Wolves, but I think, you know, you got the best tag team as your champs, the American Wolves, and they're going to keep going and going and going. Also, another team I forgot to mention, I just remembered, Rick Titus and Kenny King. Now, Kenny King, you know, if you remember Tough Enough, he was on the second Tough Enough series. He made it all the way to the end, and that was the controversial year where the two ladies, Jackie Gata and Linda Miles, got the contracts. And, you know, Kenny King continued wrestling, mainly in Florida, and look at him. He's on the verge, to me, of superstar. He is right there. And the matches that he's had on TV or at the events, and really the one that impressed me the most of him is the one with Kenny Omega a couple of weeks ago back on HDNet. I loved that match. That match was just unbelievable. And, you know, Kenny King, to me, you know, if I had to pick one guy that at this time in 10 years is going to be the guy, he's going to be the center of attention, my money would be on Kenny King. Kenny King is such an amazing athlete. Not only does he have the aerial moves, he's a good sound technical wrestler in the ring, which is something not a lot of people give him credit for. But, you know, he's just got so much potential. And Austin Aries as a heel, to me, was the best thing to happen to him in a long time, because as much as we all love Austin Aries, or most of us do, you gotta admit, face Austin Aries was getting sort of stale. A heel turn was needed, and it happened. And let's give credit where credit is due to Kerry Silkin and Adam Pearce, because when Gabe got fired and Adam Pearce was named the booker, I think a lot of people thought Ring of Honor wouldn't be around by now. And look at where they are. They got a TV deal on HDNet. You know, they put out constantly good shows, I still feel. They got new talent, fresh talent, you know, and really, yeah, it's got that little bit of a family entertainment, but they still have good matches, and I think that's something a lot of people ignore because Gabe's not there anymore. But I feel Ring of Honor, this is, okay, I'll tell you a quick comparison. Where Ring of Honor is now is where ECW was 10 years ago when they had that deal with TNN. And I think the difference between the ECW 10 years ago and Ring of Honor is that unlike ECW, Ring of Honor is constantly bringing up new talent. So that's my opinion. I think Ring of Honor is doing good. I think it's going to be around for a while. Gonna be right back. I'm going to give you my thoughts on some of the indie scene.